Now, Pastor Eric, one of the things that really sets people or really gets them into an unhappy place is making mistakes, and they think that them making mistakes is not acceptable in their lives. So here's where I'm going to. One of the ways, in order for us to live a happier life, and it doesn't cost a penny, is enriching our lives. True enrichment, though, comes in from of pride, or from of pride in oneself. So having pride in yourself. Be proud of everything that we do, even the mistakes that we make. Just like Pastor Rochell was saying, it's okay. Sometimes people make mistakes in their lives, and that is what brings them into that place. They are so unhappy because they're beating themselves up. Even after God has forgiven them, they have not forgiven themselves. How often do we see that?
I see that a lot. Actually, it's one of the biggest attacks that the enemy does, because we twist it as human beings. We think that God's mad at us.
Yes.
And really and truthfully, God looks at you and says, I don't know what you're talking about. I forgave you of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we have to deal with, well, if you forgave me, then what's the hang up? The hang up is that it's you. You stay there's another way to say it. If you stay in neutral, you never go anywhere. And if you put it in reverse, you stay back in the back of the pack. Whenever God called us to come to the front, he called us to come up. He called us to, again, go from glory to glory, to rise up and be everything he's called us to be. So in that case, we condemn ourselves. It's not just the enemy condemning. He sits back and laughs. He goes, I don't even have to do it. You're doing it to yourself. And we realize that many times that to live a happier life is to realize, again, like you said, I've settled my past.
Yes.
Actually, I've used my past and went, that's a mistake I made. But in that mistake, I learned to change and never fall in that mistake again. Mm-hmm. So which means that I've already come I've already grown, I've already come up from what I did before. Yes. So if you really look at life, every person on the face of this planet made a mistake, overcame it, that makes them an overcomer.
Come on.
But they rest in the fact of their failure instead of in the fact that they're an overcomer.
Come on. My. And that is what brings and allow them to continue to be in unhappiness. If you just get to the place where you said, hey, man, it's all right. God have already seen it. God have seen my mistakes. God have accepted me after I have released it. Then you know that you can live a happier life. And trust me, it doesn't cost a penny. Any of you want to comment on that? Pastor Dorina, Pastor Rochell.
I've learned how to forgive others, and I've learned how to forgive myself and go on. I understand that this, God is a God of character.
Yes.
He does not change his character. And if his word says that he has forgiven me and he's casted it into the sea of forgetfulness, then our struggle sometimes is really believing, what he says about us. But then I've learned, as you become more seasoned in the Lord, mm-hmm. you see how, he had to have forgiven me because he's taking care of me. So I see that it is an important thing for us to really say, Lord, I choose to receive your forgiveness. Mm-hmm. I choose to receive what you have provided. You are God, and you are so good. Mm-hmm. You are a God of grace and mercy and kindness, so I receive it. You have to talk to yourself, and you have to let yourself know, you know what? I'm going to receive what God has provided. I'm going to receive that because he wants us to live in victory. Jesus has already died. We are operating from the finished work of Calvary. Wow. That's how I operate. I'm operating from the finished work of Calvary. Yes. And that's what I have to say to the enemy. You know what? Jesus has already died for me.
Yes.
And so I'm going to live in that because that's what he's provided.
Yes.
That's truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Power.